many ways, Apple Watch is the most accessible games platform ever created. It will get you in the game in less than 2 seconds on your every waking moment. We've never had anything like this in terms of games platforms before. Apple Watch is never in the bottom of your bag. It's never forgotten in the other room or in the pocket of your jacket. It's always there, always available. And that's one of the reasons why we're seeing a frequency of use on the platform that really is unprecedented. Not only that, in terms of numbers, it's one of the fastest growing platforms that we have this year. But more importantly, Apple Watch as well as the Android Wear devices are part of the largest game ecosystem we have on the planet. Now, from our point of view, we think that Apple Watch actually sits on top of the food chain. In a sense, it is your primary line of defense for all inbound communication that you receive from your digital life. Whether we're talking about Facebook messages, Twitter, email, even phone calls, Apple Watch is what you use to receive that communication. Now, there's another reason why we're so very excited about this as developers, and that's because we understand that with consumer electronics and games platforms, it really is the content that defines the end user experience. If you look at games such as Angry Birds with iPhone, really it was Angry Birds that became the poster child of that generation and defined what fun and addictive means in the context of iPhone. With iPads and tablets, it was Clash of Clans and titles such as Heyday that really showed consumers worldwide what's fun and exciting on these devices. And with smartwatches, obviously it is our games that define why these devices are so addictive, so fun, so compelling. And games entertainment has always been something that as consumers speaks to us on an emotional level. We feel when we're playing with games, we have fun, we tell stories about the experiences we've shared, so they do play an important role for these devices. Now, before talking about the games themselves, I wanted to say a couple of words about our founding team. We've been doing this for 15-20 years, and Mika Tammekoski founded a company called Sumea together with Ilkka Paananen back in the day. Mika was Ilkka's CTO for almost a decade, so he knows a couple of things about new games platforms. I founded my first company called FutureMark together with Remedy Entertainment back in 1997. I ran the company for 6 years and it was my first exit. Markus Tuppurainen though has most downloads under his belt from our team. He's been in pivotal roles with games such as Bad Piggies, Angry Birds Seasons and Angry Birds Friends, and has shipped more than 300 million games and has an impressive revenue to match. Now, the unusual thing about our founders is how long we've actually known each other. I first met with Mika back in 1996 when he was just starting his career as a programmer at Remedy Entertainment. Both Mika and myself had a privilege to work with Markus on different productions in 2002 and 2004. So we know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and most of all we know how to have fun while working on this stuff. Maybe the one last thing to mention is that we're very ambitious. We think that when industry moved from console to mobile, we saw a significant increase in the clock speed things were happening. Now that we're moving from mobile to smartwatches, we're seeing a similar increase in speed, and we want to be the fastest growing company in this space. And that would not be possible without a fantastic set of investors, and I'm happy to say that we're backed by the best. People like Petteri Koponen, who before taking over our chairman of the board role, was the chairman of the board and first investor at Supercell. Or Nikolai Nyholm, who's been an advisor to Mojang/Minecraft, and is one of the most active seed stage investors right now that we have engaged in Europe. Recently, about 2 weeks ago, we announced that True Ventures had made an investment to us, and Om Malik, the man behind Kibao, is now on our board of directors. He has an amazing perspective on the industry, but also an unrivaled network to Silicon Valley. So it's a great team to have in your corner. But now let's change gears a little. Next I wanted to talk about our first title, which is called Runeblade. new, something different, something that really hadn't ever been done in the context of smartwatches. We wanted to create something more than just a game. We wanted to create a dynamic world with its own narrative, with its own lore, with cliffhanger stories and different things taking place. So we started with a premise that was kind of crazy ambitious. You see, in the world of Runeblade, we have a nation of war mages that are put into an impossible situation. After eons of slumber, their ancient gods are awakening and returning to their world. But this time they're corrupted and evil and destroying everything. So these war mages select a champion that they send up north to a place called Forgotten Halls, where this ancient evil lies. And as the player, it's your task to fight your way through the fantasy lands, cast spells, wield magic, upgrade your Runeblade, of course, and use different kind of magical artifacts on your way. So it's quite distinctive. I think after all the updates we put out, it's fair to say it's probably the most ambitious smartwatch game ever created. We've taken a TV series approach, so each month we put out multiple updates, but one of those is a major storyline update, which takes the world further, which shows the players more content and what's really happening in the world of Runeblade. In fact, early this year when we started working on this production, the first thing we did was map out the whole year roadmap as kind of a TV series, season 1 of Runeblade, if you will, which is going to end this Christmas in an epic battle, and that should be tremendous fun. Now, in terms of press reception or press reactions, we've been treated with kind of an amazing reception. In April, when we launched the game, first and perhaps most importantly, Apple gave us a global hero slot at launch. They featured us multiple times in the weeks ever since and are consistently featuring the game in different countries. At the same time, the press had a lot of interest towards what do games on Apple Watch actually look like. So we've been featured by more than 1,000 different publications, from Reuters to Bloomberg to Wired and The Verge. Obviously Pocket Gamer, which is one of our favorite publications ever, and it's been amazing. So in that sense, we think Runeblade is the first smartwatch blockbuster, if you will. Now, there's been a lot of surprises. When you start to work with a brand new technology, when you want to create something that's genuinely new, you never really know what to expect. In terms of player reactions, we certainly weren't expecting the kind of engagement we're seeing out there. Our players have created Reddit forums for the game where they're actively discussing different strategies, creating optimization tools for spending your crystals on different artifacts as effectively as possible. And really it's a very active community. In addition to Reddit, they've created wikias about the game where they've analyzed not just all the monsters or artifacts that we have in the game, but also the hundreds of different power tiers that each artifact has and so forth. Maybe the biggest surprise though has been the frequency of use and the level of engagement that we're seeing from the players themselves. When we were looking at the statistics early on, there was a moment when we thought our statistics were broken because people were playing the game so many sessions per day that we just didn't really believe the math. Our most active 2% is playing Runeblade more than 100 sessions each day. And if you do the math, you realize that this means that the most active players on their every waking hour are accessing the game roughly every 6 minutes or so. We've never had a games platform before that would be so accessible. We've never had a games platform before that would deliver that level of brand engagement. So it is exciting times. The other stuff that we're super excited about, of course, is the feedback from the players. Besides five-star reviews, they're sending us email telling that this is the best game on Apple Watch, or in some cases that this is the best game they've ever played on any platform, which is very flattering given that there are some level of platform limitations we do have to deal with. So it's off to a good start. As a recap, summing up, I think it's been an exciting year for us. We had the #1 blockbuster on a brand new Apple platform. We think that, in a sense, mobile made console look like dinosaurs of old, and now smartwatches are going to do exactly that to mobile in the coming years. We're also in a good place because we've raised roughly 2 million euros in venture capital, and there was something related to that I wanted to do. In fact, I wanted to ask all of you for a favor. You see, we're ramping up, we're staffing the teams. We're less than 10 people right now, but growing slowly but surely. And we're looking for talented people, so it would mean the world to us if you spread the word, let people know that we're hiring. If there are programmers, free-to-play game designers, technical graphics artists, that share our passion, that are as excited about these new platforms as we are, we'd love to hear from them. Thank you very much.
Good, lovely. Always good to get a free antidote in there. So, okay, thank you very much, Aki. You're going to be around for the panel afterwards, so hold any questions you have in your head and we can talk about them then. Our next kind of emerging platform, not a platform for playing games, but I guess a business platform. Carrie, you want to come up and explain what you guys are up to at 3D Online Factory? Should we give him a big hand?
Hi folks, can you hear me? Hi folks, it's a great pleasure to be here. In the coming 15